fresh out the box.
Fresh California plums.
Welcome to another episode of Fresh Film Fridays, the podcast where two dudes pick the newest films streaming or in theaters and discuss them. Today we are talking about 2022's Day Shift, which is currently streaming on Netflix and was directed by J.J. Perry. I'm your co-host Alec.
Oh, I'm Eric. Just kidding, it's Justin.
Alright, well, good to have you here, Eric. Just kidding, it's Justin. Yeah, this is actually kind of a fun movie. I actually came away being like, damn, that was a fun little ride.
Yeah, you know what? I saw this in like the coming soon section of Netflix. And when I texted you and I was like, how'd you like it? And your exact words were, let me see if I can find it. You said, it was decent. I think you'll like it. And I picked up my phone at work and I read that and I was like, fuck you.
What does that mean? Why?
Because you're implying like, oh, it's of lower caliber. You'll enjoy it. You simpleton.
It's your kind of movie, Justin.
It's a JM.
I think it is.
It's a Justin movie.
I think what it is like there are certain people that can be entertained by certain things, and there's certain people that aren't entertained by those things. And you are. That's not a bad thing. You know, you can watch a rock movie and kind of just shut your brain off for 2 hours. Doesn't matter. I don't dislike The Rock. I don't get it. But you like him.
You know what the problem is I don't think you smell what he's cooking.
I used to be able to. Not anymore, though, dude.
Why don't you give everybody a brief synopsis of Day Shift?
Yeah, man. I mean, it's a fun movie. It's basically about Jamie Foxx is kind of a hustler. He claims he works in a pool cleaning company. His wife and him are divorced, and his daughter and his ex-wife are about to move to Florida because they can't afford the school and dentist work for some reason. So Jamie Foxx is a vampire hunter, and he needs to get in the union of vampire hunters so he can make that union money, and he'll be able to afford his daughter and wife and all their shit. And then there's a big grand plan going on with the vampires while this is all happening. So, yeah.
Jamie Foxx needs that government money.
Dude, I love Jamie Foxx, actually. I think he really is kind of one of those actors that can like do anything. I mean, he's funny, he's badass, he's just a good actor.
Yeah, I mean, I like Dave Franco too, but he's literally just like a smaller, skinnier, higher pitched James Franco.
He actually had me laughing a couple times in this movie. I mean, when he pissed his pants like 3 times, it was kind of funny.
I kind of recognized Natasha Bordizzo. Was she in the beginning of the movie, Heather, the other vampire?
I love live events, but I hate buying tickets. The hidden fees suck, and coordinating with friends is a nightmare. I always end up fronting a bunch of money and then chasing down my friends to get reimbursed. And if they flake, I'm stuck with the whole bill. But then I discovered Fanimal. Fanimal has tickets to everything, and there are no fees. The price you see is the price you pay. Not only are the prices transparent, but they're almost always lower than anywhere else I look. And for any hot tickets, like Austin City Limits, or a Dodgers game, or a weekend concert, Fanimal is always the cheapest option. Nobody goes to live events alone, so why buy tickets alone? Fanimal's patented group purchase makes it easy. First, you set a minimum size for your group, and choose the number of tickets you want to pay for yourself. Then you invite friends. When the minimum size is met, everyone gets charged and receives their tickets. If the minimum size isn't reached in time, nobody gets charged. You don't commit until your friends do. And Fanimal has amazing customer service. Check out their hundreds of 5-star reviews. The next time you need tickets, go to Fanimal.com or download the Fanimal app and sign up with code HORROR for $20 of credit towards your first purchase. Check out Fanimal and experience more. I'm looking at her picture now. Who was she in this movie? Wasn't she the woman that was his neighbor, his new neighbor?
Yeah, she was the vampire who helped them at the end, but they were like friends, and I don't know if I like blacked out, but I have no recollection of her.
They just like shoehorned her in. So like basically the head vampire was like, you need to spy on this guy that killed my daughter.
Oh, okay.
So they just moved her in, but then I guess she was sick of working for the vampire, so she like helped him. I don't know. It definitely felt shoehorned into the plot.
Okay. We got Snoop Dogg in here.
Loved that. Loved Snoop Dogg in this.
Peter Stormare. He's like the bad Russian dude in like every movie. And then Steve Howey from Shameless. And are you familiar with Scott Adkins, the other brother?
No, I didn't know what he was. I couldn't recognize him.
He is really popular in like C-rated fight movies. Like he is in a he's actually practiced martial arts since he was a kid, and like all he does it all like for real.
No, I mean, he was really badass, and I was really surprised with Steve Howie how badass he was in this, too.
Yeah.
Very stereotypical Russian, like, yeah, bro, you got this, bro. Like, it was a lot of that. So that was kind of annoying, but like...
I liked it.
I know, but it was fun. Like, it was cool to see, like, okay, these are, like, the Russian bro vampire hunters, and you've got, like, Jamie Foxx's vampire. I wanted to meet more vampire hunters. I know we get that, like, brief union scene, but, like, I loved how different the characters were in that. Really quick, I don't know if you're aware of this. So this whole movie, to me at least, was a spoof on the Screen Actors Guild about like, because, dude, like the Screen Actors Guild costs a lot of money to get into. You have to pay union fees every year. So you like, you don't have to give them percentage. That was like an agent fee or whatever. But this movie really reminded me of the Screen Actors Guild. I think they were poking fun at that.
Oh yeah, I mean the fact that he put all this money on the table, and then by the time all the fees and random taxes and stuff was paid, he had nothing.
Yeah, and you know the best part about SAG is the only way you can maintain your health insurance is if you're constantly working and you meet a certain threshold. So if you have a bad year, you're like, well, I guess you're fucked then. Like,
Well, yeah, I mean it makes sense from their point of view because if you're not working, you're not paying your fees, and then you're essentially just getting like free healthcare.
I know, but it's not as easy as a regular job where it's like guaranteed unless you like really fuck up and you get fired. Like it's harder to get acting jobs.
Yeah, you know what else I was thinking with this movie is like, I mean, Dave Franco's a good actor, you know, whatever. But like, Jamie Foxx has been in some really good roles, like Django, and we were talking about it on one of the episodes. Maybe it was the one with Leonardo DiCaprio and the world was going to end with the comet thing.
Okay.
We were talking about basically how these like A-list actors who are great play in these less good movies, and they kind of like dumb down their acting ability. Like for example, Jamie Foxx in Django Unchained, he had to be in his A game, right? Like Quentin Tarantino wanted the best from him. For this, I feel like this is an easy paycheck.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a fair assessment. I mean, dude, yeah, Jamie Foxx didn't he win Best Actor for, what was it, Ray?
I think so, yeah.
Dude, so like this guy is absolutely at the top of the acting caliber, and yeah, this definitely was a payday, dude.
Yeah, like Netflix was probably like, hey, do you want this 5 million? And Jamie Foxx probably didn't even have to memorize his lines or repeat them. It was probably just like improv, and he did it.
And I mean, it was probably a fun movie too. It's just him getting to kick ass. He doesn't, it's not very acting heavy. It's just like stunts and cool driving scenes and stuff like that. It seemed like he was just playing like a fun dad the whole movie. That was pretty much it, but really badass fun dad.
Yeah, I mean, there's plenty of things to nitpick, but the only things that kind of bothered me was the mother was complaining about money, yet she lived in like a pretty big house. And I found it funny how she was complaining about braces, but she printed off all these professional pamphlets, which definitely costs like, you know, hundreds, if not thousands of dollars for that. And this was probably one of the only vampire movies I've seen where hand to hand humans were like messing up vampires. I mean, dude, she was kicking him in the face in like super fast speed, and he was just like, ow.
Yeah, I mean, I want to comment on basically everything you just said. So, yeah, dude, biggest gripe of the whole movie is like, it doesn't feel like there's a lot of gravity to the situation. It's like, your daughter needs fucking braces and she's going to a private school. Like, okay, like I thought they were gonna be like, she has cancer and she can't afford the treatments or something like that, or like, so it didn't really feel like it mattered that much. And you're right, the house is like so big. You're like, I don't know, sell your fucking couch then. I don't know, pay for the braces if you need them that bad. It's not life or death. And then what was the other thing you'd mentioned?
Basically, how like, you know, the vampires were hitting Jamie Foxx, and he, in another movie, it would have like slashed a hole through their chest.
They were just zombies, you know, and there's a lot of times where it seemed like they just shot them with guns and they just died. Like there was no.
Yeah, I mean, he made the special bullets with like the wood and this and that, but like literally in every other vampire movie, unless it's like a special blade daylight bullet, it doesn't affect them at all.
Yeah, so same as you, those are like my two biggest gripes. The other thing is right in the beginning, the main woman, like the lead vampire lady, dude, she's got that vampire guy like chained down in the cement pit or whatever. Mm-hmm. Dude, why isn't that guy just like exploding? Why is he just melting in the sun forever?
Well, I think the sun was rising, and as it was rising, it was less shadow in the little cement pit, so it's kind of like slow birding him.
Okay.
Yeah, but again, in other movies, the second the sun touches them, they explode. I mean, the thing is like this is nitpicking because this movie's not meant to be an accurate like Blade vampire movie. It's another typical entertaining Netflix movie.
Yeah, and I think it did a good job at that. I think it was like very self-aware of other vampire movies. Obviously, they mentioned like the Twilight movies, and I don't know if you know the last line from the movie. What's a spoof of? Do you remember the last line Snoop Dogg said as he walked out of the sewer grate?
Oh, was it One Thing I Love LA is all the damn vampires?
Yeah, so that's a direct spoof in the last line of The Lost Boys, which is a
Yes.
vampire movie from '87. Yeah, and it's like
Yeah.
that's what I love. It's like that's what I hate about Santa Clara. It's like there's so many damn vampires or something like that.
Yeah, I saw that like a couple months ago. I randomly watched it. Snoop Dogg was badass in it.
Yeah.
Not sure how he survived.
No, insane. Just insane.
The only thing I was thinking of is he wasn't a vampire yet, so the light didn't kill him. But I don't know. That's a stretch.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I liked his character. I thought it was cool. He was like this badass cowboy, and I mean, I liked how the Union was in this like old like laundromat or whatever, like in the back, and there's so many like it was like a professional place in the back. I love that. That was cool.
It kind of reminded me of like John Wick, that hotel where they all go to. But did you notice what this movie was missing?
Oh, Ana de Armas.
That is true. Yes, but there wasn't one cop in the movie. You're telling me all these gunshots are going off and explosions and this and that, and like no cops are pulling up?
I don't remember. Yeah, that didn't stand out to me, but yeah. Well, that was the thing. In the beginning, I thought the movie was post-apocalyptic. I thought it was just like him breaking into houses, and then obviously it's not. But you're right. I guess I never noticed. And dude, there's a huge car chase shootout gun scene. Like,
zero cops. Like it's not like the cops came up and Jamie Foxx has like an official vampire card. He's like Vampire PD. Like this is our scene. Like they just weren't there.
Yeah, that was weird. Yeah, I wonder why. Huh? I don't know. The car chase scene that we were just talking about, like how the police didn't come, there was one shot that I thought was so awesome, and I don't know if you saw it, but it's during the car chase scene. Dude, a drone goes from the back seat up through the sunroof and then keeps following the cars and then goes with a motorcycle. Do you remember that shot?
I feel like I do, but I'm not picturing it.
Dude, it was so sick. Like, I've never seen a shot like that before, where the drone literally, like, is part of the action and leaves a moving car. Like, I thought that was so cool.
Yeah, I mean, Netflix has been really grinding out these A-list actor movies because there's so much competition now. Like, I was talking to metalcore nerds about it on Twitter. Like, back when Disney Plus first came out, I'm sure you remember with the whole Gina Carano thing, they lost like a ton of subscribers, and like they didn't have all the like Star Wars and Marvel movies, and people were kind of like, what the hell am I paying for? And now it's huge because there's all these shows on it, and HBO, obviously. Hulu's pumping out Prey, which was sick. Yeah. Netflix has to step it up.
Well, I think what Netflix is doing is we kind of talked about this on the Gray Man one. It's like they're hoping people are like, I like Ryan Reynolds, I'll watch anything Ryan Reynolds is in, and they just watch it. Where then you watch the movie and you're like, that wasn't that good. Like, it was just like, I'm glad Jamie Foxx is in it. Like, I know who that is, but that's not enough to make a movie good. And Netflix got to learn that, I think.
Yeah.
Because Prey didn't have one recognizable actor in the movie, and it was fantastic, you know?
Yeah.
This movie had basically almost everybody was recognizable, and it was fine. It's not a bad movie. It's a fun movie.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not gonna like text the group chat and be like, you guys got to watch Day Shift. But if you got nothing else going on and you like vampires and Jamie Foxx, then yeah.
Yeah, like if you like The Lost Boys, or if you like fun vampire movies that aren't like, Twilight's like a romance novel vampire movie, and then there's like the Dracula scary kinds, or the 30 Days a Night. This one's not like that. It's like a comedic. You know what it is, dude? It's the Zombieland of vampire movies.
Yeah.
That's what it is. It's not as funny as Blade. It's not as badass as Blade. It's not as funny as Zombieland, but that's what it is. It's Zombieland for vampires.
Yeah, that's fair.
So this was shot in L.A., which, if I was a vampire, that's the last place I'd go. And, so they have that one house where the guy from Shameless and Jamie Foxx break into, and Dave Franco, who's just useless. the whole movie. Like, he's just like, he's more of like a hindrance on every situation than he is helpful. But that scene was just like crazy. So they have like, what, 100 vampires in this one house, and they just sleep in the walls, and then like there's a couple dudes playing Call of Duty.
Well, yeah, it's a nest. So like you've seen John Carpenter's Vampire Hunters, right?
Isn't it just vampires?
Yeah, with
James Woods. Yeah.
yeah, it's a nest. Essentially, it's meant to be a normal house, but they're hiding in the walls and shit. And I think those two dudes playing Xbox were familiars, so they were humans. And I kind of would have liked if the like Russian brothers like died at the end or something, like if an elder came. But yeah, they killed a lot of vampires very easily.
Yeah, because what did they gave 5 different breeds of vampires. There's like Eastern, Southern spiders, and 2 other ones I can't remember.
The heads like regenerate and stuff.
Yeah, but dude, how much cooler would it be if like one of those was like a fucking beast vampire, dude? Like the Hulk of vampires. Yeah, like that would have been cool to have like a bloated, fat monster vampire.
Yeah, and the brothers were just like, "Oh no, brother!" He just fucked them up.
Bro, he cut your head off,
bro.
Yeah. Now, have you ever seen Horrible Bosses?
Yeah, of course.
I'm just going to throw this out there. I think this is an unofficial sequel. I think that Jamie Foxx, this is Motherfucker Jones.
Motherfucker Jones.
I think this is him, dude. I think because like we don't know really that much about the character. He's out at night during that movie. It's in LA. That's where Horrible Bosses takes place. So I'm just saying, maybe it's a sequel. Maybe it's not a sequel. I don't know. I was just thinking about it. He's a funny character.
I mean, they could technically do a sequel because Snoop Dogg could be like the bad vampire.
Oh, they're 100% going to do a sequel to this. Well, how much did this cost? Oh, it was $100 million? Actually, maybe not.
Really?
That's insane.
I don't understand how Netflix can make $100 million movies. Like, if, you know, there's 300 something million people in America, say 150 million people have Netflix, we each pay $9 a month. Like, is it really enough for them to pump out all these movies?
I don't think so. I mean, you said that they're raising the rent, or not the rent, the subscription fee by $1, right?
Yeah, but I mean, you know.
So, I mean, you know, think about how many people are in the... I don't know. I wouldn't do it.
Thanks, Putin.
But this, you know what's even crazier, though? $100 million budget. If you were Netflix, would you give a $100 million budget to a first-time director?
Dude, I mean, 100 million sounds like an absolutely insane amount to us. But for people that make movies, it's probably like... it's not that much.
But to a first-time director, dude, that's insane. I would never be like, well, this guy knows what he's doing. Let's give him $100 million.
True, but also you got to think, they probably have like the analytics of how many people on Netflix watch brand new movies, and they know big names like Dave Franco, Jamie Foxx, Snoop Dogg. I feel like it's guaranteed to get the views.
Well, I have a theory, actually. So you mentioned John Wick earlier. And the producer of this film is Chad Stahelski or whatever, and he's the director and creator of the John Wick series. Now, this guy, J.J. Perry, he is a stunt coordinator and stunt actor. He was in Mortal Kombat. He's been doing stunts since the 90s. I bet that they saw John Wick, and they said, okay, that guy was a first-time director. He was a stunt coordinator, and he gave us a really sweet, badass movie. He's producing this, and he's putting faith in a guy that's just like him.
Yeah, it's a, you know, and I got to believe also a big company like Netflix that's pumping out these movies. I feel like they have to have.
This episode of the podcast is brought to you by Bard's Clothing. The days of "Hi, my name is" are over. We live in a virtual world, and our images are being shared on social media and professional pages every day. With over 1,000 fabrics to choose from, Bard's Clothing is here to tell your story through clothing. Make sure the image you want people to have of you is the one you're sending, because by the time you get face-to-face, their minds might already be made up. Quality clothing all made here in America. Head on over to www.bardsclothing.com or follow them on Instagram @bardsclothing.
A group of experienced people assisting somewhere on the back end. I don't know.
Well, yeah, and I don't think Jamie Foxx would be like, I'll do a movie if I don't trust... you know, the people. I mean, you're not just going to do it just for the money if you're like, this is going to be a fucking nightmare the whole time, too. So, I don't know.
I was just surprised at how easily people took the fact that vampires existed. Like,
yeah.
You know, when she saw the Spanish elder, like, her fangs come out, I feel like most people would probably, like, faint or something.
Yeah. Oh, okay, that reminds me then. So, maybe I missed this, but I liked it, but I was a little confused. So the first vampire that Jamie Foxx kills in the beginning is this old lady and this other guy. So we find out that the reason that this head vampire is hunting Jamie Foxx is because that old woman that he killed is actually the head vampire's daughter.
Mm-hmm.
So I think they said a line about it, but I missed it. Did the daughter not like the fact that her mom was a vampire, and then the mom bit her when she was old so that she wouldn't die?
No, so the head vampire came over to America to do something, and she couldn't find her daughter for like so long that she eventually became old, and then she turned her so they could like, live together.
Oh, okay. So she wasn't raising her daughter. Okay.
Yeah.
Got it. Okay. And it was weird. They said vampires don't pee and shit, right?
I think they said that, yeah.
So they can have babies, though? So what's their dick for? It's just there? It doesn't just fall off like a Ken doll? Like,
I don't know, man. We're going too deep into it.
I kind of want to be a vampire, though. I'm not going to lie. If a vampire said, yo, I'm going to bite your neck, like, it's up to you. I'd be like, I think I'd do it. Do you guys have, like, impossible blood? They're like, no. I'm like, all right, let's do it. Let's do it. I don't know, dude, because you can live forever. You can do whatever you want. You break your arm, it heals. You can do anything. Like, that's kind of appealing. I don't know.
But how are you going to, like, explain to everyone you know that you can never do things during the day?
I mean, I'd just be like, I work during the day. They're like,
I work during the day.
I'm sorry. It's like, it's Saturday. It's like, I don't know. Yeah, I'd be sick a lot. I don't know. But, I don't know. I think it'd be fun, dude. You get to live forever. You get to travel the world. Like, it'd be fun.
I guess.
I don't know. I think it'd be better than being a werewolf or a mummy.
I mean, I just wouldn't want to be any of them.
Well, if they have a gun to your head, Justin, they say you got to pick one. You got to pick one, or we're gonna blow your fucking head off. What do you want to do? And you got to look at the Universal monsters.
My options are: you either kill me with a gun, or kill me and then resurrect me.
Okay. So we have a gun to your head, and we say we're gonna shoot you, or you can become werewolf, vampire, mummy, invisible man, hunchback from Notre Dame. I guess, yeah, that's about it.
Yeah, I guess I'd pick vampire.
Yeah, that or invisible man, but invisible man, you die, and you're also invisible, so, like, it's not like you can shut it off, so people are just like, what the fuck's wrong with that guy? Well, you just got bandages on all the time you're walking around. I think the vampire would be the funnest, but anyways, I don't know. I don't really have too much else to say about this one. It was a little long. I guess, like, it was an hour and 56 minutes, which was kind of long for this kind of movie, but, it moved.
All right, so it got a 6.1. What would you give it?
I'm going to go 6.5. I think it was a little bit better than 6. I don't know. It's not great, but it's better than 6. What about you, Justin?
You know what? I was going to give it 6, but now I feel bad.
Why?
I felt like 6.1 was appropriate.
All right, go 6.1 then.
Okay.
Wow. I can't believe I actually like this more than you did. Wow. Check it out. I liked it more than Gray Man. I actually did.
What?
Yeah, because dude, it was different. Dude, Gray Man is the most paint by numbers action movie you'll ever see.
Ryan Gosling and Chris Evans
and Ana de Armas. I like the cast, but I thought it was generic. This one at least it's like a little different.
Billy Bob Thornton.
I love him too, but. I mean, dude, there's just no tension in this movie. Like, who gives a shit that the daughter's gonna have crooked teeth and she can't go to private school? That's such a first world problem. Like, that's not a big deal. Like, make it be literally like, oh, she's got, like, terminal cancer, and if we don't get the money, we can't pay for her treatment. Something. She goes, like, they make it seem like, oh, Florida. It's like, oh, gosh, going to Florida? Like, oh, my God. Like, so this guy's got to go murder vampires or else his daughter's going to Florida. That's it. So, cool truck. He had a cool truck.
He did. That's what I wanted to tell you. I found it hilarious that when he was with his daughter in the truck running away and the car chase, he's in this like beat up fucking like 1960s truck.
Yeah.
Outrunning a Dodge Charger and also coincidentally dirt bikes and a dune buggy car, which then was perfect timing because they then went on to a desert chase scene. It was like they predicted it would go desert.
Yeah, I mean, that car ran a lot of people. Its suspension is amazing for a car that old. And I did think it was kind of cool, though, when he got up to that little, I don't know, where it's too short for his car, and he popped all the tires and drove through it. That was kind of cool.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, I wasn't expecting that. I thought he was going to come out and shoot the guys. But I really, dude, I'm sorry, the daughter being like, "Oh, baby, put your headphones on and play your video game." It's like, what? Come on.
When he was like, "Don't look up," and they went off the little hill and like slammed into the fucking thing. I was like, she would have just broke her neck.
Yeah, it's so ridiculous. Yeah, but I don't know, the little dynamic between Dave Franco and Jamie Foxx, it was fun, I guess. It just, honestly, this movie just makes Dave Franco look like so pathetic, basically, in every scene. He's just inept at everything.
Yeah.
Well, anyways, Justin, you got any last minute thoughts?
Nope. Other than I think Netflix is just gonna continuously keep slipping.
Damn.
Because I heard that they're coming out with the like ad. What am I thinking?
Model.
Yeah, ad model like Hulu originally had, and not that there's anything wrong with that. It's a good way to save money, but the problem is that they should have started with an ad model, because if you're paying $10 and there's no commercials, no ads, no load time, and then like 8 years later you're like, oh well, now $10 is like there's a commercial every 5 minutes. You can't like go backwards.
I know. No, you're right, dude. Because, like, that's my thing about YouTube, where I'm like, I want to pay for no commercials, but then if I'm like, well, this isn't really worth it, there's no way I could ever go back.
Because, you know, you're making something good worse, whereas if you had ads and then you change it to no ads, people would be like, oh, well, that's sick. There's no ads now.
Yeah. You know what's really weird, though, I was just thinking about it, man? Like, this was just a long-winded way to get back to cable. It's like every single cable channel was like, we should just copy HBO. And that's all it is. Everything's subscription-based now.
Yeah, instead of having different channels on TV, you just have different streaming services with different stuff. And South Park made fun of it perfectly, where if you want to watch something, you have to own each one.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. I mean, yeah.
And you're paying as much as cable again.
That's the thing. It just was like a long-winded way for cable to just evolve into HBO. Like, that's basically... And Netflix was like, damn, dude. Like, could you imagine, like, 5 years ago ever saying Netflix would just be this bleeding blue whale in the ocean? Like, never. I never thought that would happen. Like, they're king. They're top dog.
Yeah.
But same thing with Blockbuster. You know, nobody ever thought DVDs in the mail would kill that guy, but who knows? Well, anyways, everybody, thank you very much for listening into our episode on Day Shift today. If you haven't had a chance, we released our 40th anniversary of Friday the 13th Part 3 on Saturday. We released Nightmare on Elm Street Part 2, Freddy's Revenge on Monday. And then this upcoming Monday, we have Darkness Falls, which is a goddamn travesty of cinema. So get ready for that, and we'll see everybody next week with something fresh.